Hello, Libra. Welcome back to Intuitive Insights with Willow. Here is where I always wish you peace and understanding that life is always happening for you, not to you. So, let's see what's going on with you this Mercury retrograde. I wonder though, I should check. Is Saturn still retrograde in Aries? Because, this month was all about, at least I had it for me in my planner. It was all about the self, like learning new things, um, not creating something new, but being more experienced and knowledgeable of something that I was already involved in. Um, for the Leo retrograde, it was all about progression, not regression, reinventing yourself. And if old relationships was coming back, or this could be relationships, platonic, romantic, jobs, family, it was just all about like communication, things that identified you, because it's Leo. It's what made you you, what illuminates within you. That's what it's all about. So if you had strong connections with someone from the past or people from the past, then and those relationships kind of dwindled off. So you have a best friend. Y'all cannot have not be at odds, but not be in contact for a while. Y'all could be coming back, chopping it up, revamping your friendship, elevating it. You know what I mean? But it was all about avoiding, argument, avoiding drama. So you want to communicate, but no, communication, no confrontation. All right. And you want to be thorough, not manipulated. That's what the energy is. All right. So I think this was one. You have Seven of Wands, Libra. Protecting yourself at all costs. That is a Leo card. Eight of Cups. That Seven of Wands is interesting because if you're in that current energy, which is what it's saying, you have Eight of Wands, two Peekaboo. You're in defensive mode. You're kind of protecting what you already have. What are you protecting? Because she does have the wand crossing her heart. And it's interesting because the next card, we go from 7 to 8, but we go to emotions. And it's the 8 of Cups, which is moving on for self-emotional fulfillment. Just what defines you. The next one was, ooh, you hit the devil. Can you focus on me? Baby, can you focus on? The devil is actually the card in your advice position. One of you flipped over. Look at that. King of Swords is your final card. The devil is self-focused, driven, very goal-oriented, and it's Saturn. Saturn is all about mastery. That's what Saturn is. Capricorns get a bad rep because they love money, but the thing of it is, yes, they love money. They value who they are. They know that by being connected with them and them being involved, they bring more to the table than what was before. And they want the coins for it. They utilize their money real well. They're very stingy. They are. They're very stingy, very tight on their pockets. Ain't nothing wrong with that because they're living for today. This is the money that they obtain the day. They work for it. They don't easily expel their money. So they're not ones to really do takeout and stuff like that all the time. They really utilize their resources. But a lot of people kind of judge them for that. If you think about Capricorn, what I tend to think about is beavers. You ever seen how beavers build? So for this to be the devil to be your advice card, it's like you need to remember at the end of the day who's going in that casket. At the end of the day, who's paying these bills? Like you need to focus on that. Because who's got you? You. Nobody has you like you got you. I don't care. You can have somebody that worships the ground that you walk on 5 years before you get to it. They still do not don't want to say that in a mean way because that is deep loyalty. But the thing of it is, they could leave. Like, there's nothing holding someone to you. I know that's pretty heavy, but it's true. And it's not just because, I'm just saying, nobody, like I tell everybody, people can strip a lot of things in this world, say if ands about certain things. For me, like material things that's external. One thing you can't take or change is my heart. And another thing is you can't tell me to make my kids because I pushed them out my punani. That's mine. I made that. You play games and try to take it, but that'd be, you know. But the thing of it is, that's what I say. And they be like, oh, my kids, when they hear me say that, they be like, oh, but mom, you have dad. Yeah, but your dad can divorce me. Your dad can leave. Somebody can come through shaking that thing, looking all stinking nasty. He might want it. Might have it. May go get it. I'm not going to prevent it. So, therefore, like, he's mine, but with, what is that? With conditions. He will say otherwise, but I'm just saying. 7 of Wands. Let's get to your read. So, this right here, you need to focus on you. And it is all about you because you got the 7 of Wands. 7 of Wands on the defensive end. You're protecting what's yours. You're on guard. You're not taking everybody just at face value. You're like, like, I hear you. I'm there for you. But it's not like that. We're clarifying. Look at that. 8 of Pentacles. King of Pentacles. And the Hanged Man. That on top of the 7 of Wands. All right, so this is what you're about. You're protecting your home. The King of Pentacles is generous. Yes, he is. Generous to those that he loves. Generous to those in his circle. Generous to those who work in his empire. He is protective of what's his. He worked really hard. 8 of Pentacles is all about mastery. So look at it this way. We're looking at 9 Pentacles. This is about the self, your stability, what you're gaining. What you're making sure that you're putting out what needs to be put out so you can get back what you desire to receive. Nothing more, nothing less. There's nothing wrong with that. Here, though, with having the Hangman there, it's like you're going through, I love to say metamorphosis. It is connected to the Hangman, a transition. It's a transitional period. It makes me think about dragonflies transition, especially when you're dealing with the home. So, with you having the 7 of Wands, clarify with these 3, it's like, all right, what am I really defending? What's really worth my protection? What's really worth my time, my energy? It's like you're reevaluating that. Who is around me in my circle that needs not to be there? Okay? 8 of Cups, you need more. You're not after material gains. You can get that yourself. You're not after, things that are external. You're focused on you. Your desire is to be more focused on you. What makes you happy? What makes you feel connected? What gets you, look at that. What gets you going? 8 of Cups is clarified with the Hermit, the Ace of Wands, and the 6 of Cups. See, you're not playing no games. You're more focused on your family, your kids, those you have a genuine connection with, those that really love you. So you could have friends. I'm not saying your friends ain't no good for you, but what you are looking for now is just stability of the mind. What is really for you? Hermit coming through is a 9, but I find that really interesting on top of the 8 of Pentacles. And then we also have the 8 of Cups and the 8 of Wands. 8s are all about power and speed. So you could be rebuilding yourself very rapidly. You want to move quickly, but you don't want to expel your energy to the point that there's nothing left to give. Like you're running on E. You don't want to do that. So you're moving quick with the way you're evaluating things, but it's subtle. Because again, we have, well, the 8 of Wands is in your pickable position, so you may not see this coming in. We're going to clarify that, but you may not see others that's coming in from the past, and you just like, all right, yeah, we had cool memories back then, bitch, but this is 2025. What we doing now? But you're being very honest with the 6 of Cups being here. it does make me feel like it's you just focused on your kids. You could just be reverting back to like mom. I don't know why I got that, but building your relationship and your connection with your mother could be the focus as well. Or you could be in protective energy when it comes to your mother and who's actually around, whether sibling blood or not, who's really for the family and who really isn't. Like you're trying to evaluate the Fredos. That is a Godfather reference. All right, let's clarify this Eight of Wands. Ooh, Eight of Wands is clarified. Queen of Cups. I just said about the mother. You know, the Queen of Cups is mothering energy. But Queen of Cups, the Fool, and the Star, two major arcanas. See? Those are your cards. Y'all really gotta. Anyways, focus. Those are these are your three cards. Now, what that tells me, I did say I feel like you're rebuilding and connecting yourself with your mom. So you could be strengthening the communication that you have with your mother figure. Or you could just be being more motherly as well, being more communicative, more involved with your children, with your family, those who mean a lot to you. Now, this is something new because with having Uranus here, Uranus here with the Queen of Cups, and the Queen of Cups is our Pisces energy. And then you have the Star here, so it's double Uranus. You could be more spiritual too. You could be more, or this is something you're not seeing that's coming your way. Those you could be attracting like those who are spiritually aligned as you are. You could be more interested in understanding elements that play a part in your world that you cannot see, that's beyond your reach, but you know that are there. You could also have, I know I touched on with your mom, but your mom could be going through a transition and you're just trying to, look, you could be someone that's learning how to pray. Because the scene that popped up in my mind was, I can do bad all by myself. Medea, when she say, Medea, can you pray with me? I don't know if you can hear that, but she makes that weird noise. She say, will you pray with me? No. Girl, you really don't. You must ain't been watching my plays. Because when God see me pop up on the call ID, he be like, no, no, no. But you could be someone like that. You could have been so worldly that now this situation could be calling you to come out and really connect to the divine. Your advice is the Devil. Capricorn energy. So you have the Two of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups, and the Seven of Swords. All right, that is clarifying the Devil. What that tells me is that, remember, I just not too long ago made the remark that you could have family members that are coming around, those you do love, you know, their blood ties there, history, strong history there. You could have those individual and you're figuring out, you really for us, or is it because you get something out of it? Like you could really be evaluating people's standpoint. With it being the Devil, that it's being clarified, Devil plays no games. I mean, come through, have fun, you know, a good time, can be very obsessive and focused, you know, self-centered, self-oriented. But the thing of it is, if you don't focus on you, who gonna focus on you, Libra? Think about that. Who got you? You got everybody else. Don't feel selfish because you're focusing on you. Oh my God, did I say that this reading was for Libra? Because it is for Libra. But there's nothing wrong with that. You're trying to see, okay, are you real or are you trying to be deceptive? Because with that juggling, it's like, yeah, I know what you're saying, but are your actions matching your words? Like, and there's nothing wrong with that. Because you're at a point in your life where it is very important to monitor who is to your left and to your right, your front, your back, your up, your down. Who is in your circle? You could have there's something going on that is making you just be real thorough. Like, there are too many things that's going on that's not adding up, and you're really like looking at it. And if you're not, because this isn't in your advice, That is what you're doing. That is what you should be doing. You should be cleaning house. Let me tell you something. This is going to sound fucked up, but it's true. Life has taught me something very serious. Motherfuckers will do you dirty. They will do you dirty. And then hit you with a I'm sorry. With no action, nothing to back it. Like the trust and betrayal is ruined and they think they can just seal it with a I'm sorry. Now, this is a true story. And this is what I mean by this. Never be so hooked on family to not cut them off, because I have learned that people grow. They'll forget all that you did for them. They won't acknowledge the love that you have for them. They will mourn later on, but they'll cut your ass off for others. Especially if you're not one that instills fear in them, you only give love, they'll cut you off. And then mourn it and say they sorry. So this is a true story from my uncle. I love my uncle. But my uncle got the monkey on his back heavy in Florida, huh? He's not who he used to be. And that's heartbreaking. And my cousin, loving her daddy as much as she do, always wanting to be there for him, wanting to rekindle the relationship. You know, she wants to trust him like he is who he is. My uncle he proclaims to have this job interview, huh? I'm not saying that he didn't, because if he come across here, I don't want him to be like, I did have this. But let me tell you what he did. She let him borrow her car because she worked a double shift, second shift and third shift. She's exhausted. She told him she was going to take him to the job interview. And she gave him the keys. One thing you cannot do in our family, it sucks to say this, but never just give anybody a car. I shouldn't even just say that for family. That's just anybody in general. Because once they get behind that wheel to get it back, if they don't return it, what are you going to do? So she let him borrow her car. It was her and her girl's car. I think that's actually her fiance. Well, her wife now. I know that's her fiance. She called her fiance. So this is their only means of transportation, and they need their car. Because where she goes to work, the bus don't even go. Like, period. She's all the way out there, out of reach. You know he took her car? He took her car, didn't answer the calls or none of that. Didn't care. Didn't care. Thought about himself. Didn't care. People don't care that they made you. They don't care that you love them. They don't. I shouldn't say that they don't care. I know I just said that a lot. When it comes me or you, you're standing between something that they want, they will not. Everybody ain't built like that. They won't stop and think of how you would feel. They will not stop and think about the effect it will have on you. So handle people with a good heart, but a caution eye. All right? It feels bad because, if you ain't in this energy and you just like, oh, nah, we've been tight, thick as thieves, known them since I've been in kindergarten, won't never do no wrong to me. That's not true. They could have crossed you and you ain't seen it. I ain't trying to make you paranoid. I'm just trying to put you up on game. Think about you. And for Capricorns, y'all got big hearts. A lot of people, y'all don't get the credit that y'all deserve. You got big hearts. But, and you don't want to think like that because you can get very vengeful. You know, once you cross, oh, that's ugly. And you try not to think like that. You think you make the good decisions in people, but what you need to understand is people change. Things change, people change, feelings change too. Don't ever underestimate that the circumstance won't change them or you. Ooh, I took that. I'm being dead ass though. I know, y'all, you might be like, oh my God, she's dead. Yeah. I've had, life has lifed with me. You hear me? Ooh, you got 10 of Swords. All right. The King of Swords. He is very thorough, very analytical. You understand? He is the last one to get his ass up off that chair. Because he thinks 10 steps ahead. He is Libra energy. He's not one that stays on a project too long. He activates it and leaves. Will he come back and see how it turned out? Now you got to bring him the news because he's moving on to the next thing. His mind is constantly going. You know, you got a kingdom to run. He's got to always stay 3 steps, 10 steps, 2 years ahead. All right? That's the outcome. You gonna be on your throne, peeping shit. You gonna be on your Michael Corleone. Okay? It's clarified, Ten of Swords, Two of Wands, and the Temperance. All things coming to line. See, it sucks when you get Ten of Swords. A lot of people, who wants that card? Who wants it? No, nobody. Nobody says, oh, I hope I pulled the Ten of Swords. It's Gemini energy. Nobody says that though. It is actually Gemini and Uranus energy. That Mercury, why do I do that? Mercury and Uranus click together. Oh, that rebellion. Ooh, you being analytical. This is the energy of heavy thinking, heavy processing. There's nothing you can do but learn from the experience and move forward. This is that fall forward card. And you're making that decision to accept that things are what they are. You're peeping things. You're taking things at face value. You're no longer sitting there, what if, shoulda, coulda, wouldas. You're not doing that. You're taking things for what they are. You hitting people with the right. You pulling yourself back and you're being in the observation seat. You understand? The Temperance, things that's going to work out. There's going to be balance. Once you master this, that is the outcome. So you are mastering this. You will perfect this. You're going to learn to love people without making them feel like you have changed the trajectory of your love. I like that. But you're learning to be that manipulator. Embracing that manipulating energy. And you're utilizing it to the best of your abilities. For a greater cause, not to hurt nobody. But so you ain't got to hurt nobody. Yeah. Ooh, Nine of Swords. Ooh, baby. Yeah, it's going to take a lot of thinking. A lot of overanalyzing. It's going to be a lot of heartbreak. It sucks when you have to take the blinders off. And you ain't necessarily got blinders on. Because, you know, everybody experiences heartbreak, betrayal. You know, you experienced that. And it's not because you didn't have the blinders on. You saw them. But you had to learn to see them through different lenses. Every now and then, you got to get your eyes checked. Like I said, things change. You got to peep game. It hurts because you might still view people the same way. And that's why this is happening to you. The universe is telling you it's time to level up. All right, Libra, that is what I got for you. Thank you for your time and your attention. Understanding I'm always wishing you peace and understanding life is happening for you, not to you. And no matter what the cards deal you, you got this. Play your hand to the best of your abilities. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.